Hey everybody, it's Kathy Yergis with BG3, and I'm happy to be back today answering more questions on how to use LinkedIn. And today's question comes from Sue, and it's about the right way to make an introduction. And there's a few different things that go into play when you are being asked to make an introduction, and also when you are the one who wants to be introduced. So let's talk first about when you are asked to make an introduction for somebody. And in Sue's particular case, the situation came up because somebody who is looking to work at a particular company saw that Sue was connected with somebody who works there. And she wanted an introduction so that she could connect with the person and ask a few questions before applying for the job or before the interview. Okay, so it makes sense. It's a valid reason to want to connect with somebody. But the situation came up because Sue doesn't know this person who works at the company personally. Okay, she's maybe met her a couple of times, but she doesn't know her all that well. So it feels a little awkward to make this introduction. So first of all, I want to say that it might be awkward, but it's appropriate. Okay, so this is an appropriate reason to make an introduction. And even though you don't know the person intimately, or necessarily know how they're going to react to the request, it's still appropriate to do. So go ahead and make that introduction. You can certainly do it through LinkedIn. LinkedIn makes it easy for you to add both parties to a message within LinkedIn and make the introduction. Or typically what I do is I suggest that you take it offline and do it through email. Okay, so rather than making the introduction through LinkedIn's platform, just send an email to both parties. Include them both in the message, include them both in the message, and just let them know that you're wanting to make an introduction and give a little bit why you're making the introduction, okay? That just tends to be better because not everybody checks their LinkedIn messages or responds there in a timely way. So sending it to their email address is going to be better. If you are wondering what their email address is because you don't know them personally, you can look at their contact information in their LinkedIn record, on their LinkedIn profile, under contact info. They should have an email address listed, and so you can use that one. If they don't have an email listed there for whatever reason, then by all means, then use the LinkedIn Messenger to get through to them. But that is an appropriate instance. If you do know the parties on both ends very well, certainly in that introduction, you're going to want to add a bit of your own insight as to why it would be great for them to get to know each other. Okay, so the person asking for the introduction has a reason why they want to connect, but if you know both parties well, be sure to add in your thoughts on why they should connect and take time for a phone call. So that's important. The next thing I want to talk about is when you want to be introduced to somebody. Okay, so you're looking through LinkedIn and your news feed, and you see that somebody shared content from somebody in their network, and you're thinking, hey, that is similar to something that I'm working on, and I would love an introduction to that person. So LinkedIn has made it easy that you can simply see how they are connected or how you are connected to that person you want to be introduced to. And you can ask one of your LinkedIn connections to make the introduction right through LinkedIn. And then LinkedIn in the messaging platform adds in a link to their profile, so it makes it easy to reference who you're talking about. And it just asks for an introduction. Hey, can you introduce me? If they are a second-degree connection, it'll ask for a direct introduction. If you are a third-degree connection, it's going to ask the person that you know to introduce you to somebody that they know. Okay, so we have to go through a couple of layers there, so it might not be as timely or as effective, but it certainly is a good way to reach out and to try to connect with those people that you want to know. Again, if at all possible, send the message through your email. So you can take that information that LinkedIn provides and just copy and paste it into an email and send it to your contact. Again, it's likely that the person's going to see it more quickly in their email than LinkedIn Messenger. So you can do that same process. I'm going to include a link here in the archives to a screencast to just show you how you can identify who in your network knows the person you're wanting to connect with and how that messaging platform works. Okay, so it is appropriate, it is great, it's a great use for LinkedIn, and really the reason that we're all on there is to network and build rapport and build relationships with more people. So whether you're using the LinkedIn Messenger app or you're taking it out to email, take a look and from both perspectives, see who you can introduce to each other that makes sense for their business. So that's a great way. And the second way is take a look to see who you might like to be referred to or introduced to. Okay, referral sounds a little bit more salesy. So make a request to be introduced to somebody who you think you have something in common with and would like to get to know a little bit better. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and we'll talk again next week.